Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Did Ayesha Curry Really Cheat with 6ix9ine? Let's get right into it.
The relationship between Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry is definitely polarizing, but it wasn't always like that. At first, Ayesha Curry was the kind of pick-me wife, staying at home, never wearing revealing clothes, and doing whatever she could to show Steph some respect. But ultimately, that did change. And it changed dramatically. We started to see Ayesha Curry go from being a big-time supporter of Steph to resenting him in real time. And statements like this were red flags.
Something that really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, there are all these women throwing themselves, but me, the past 10 years, I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention.
So here you have a woman complaining that she doesn't get attention from other men, but she wants it. And then Kevin Samuels had to get on her.
She married a guy that she thinks she's better than. And honestly, she's jealous of him. She's jealous because I'm sitting at home, pumped out 3 kids, and he's on TV every day. He's getting all the fame. He's getting all the red carpet treatment. He's getting all this. And only time she gets attention is attention that he deflects to her. We wouldn't know about Ayesha Curry if it wasn't for Steph. He tries to put her in the spotlight. He tries to put her front and center. And guess what? If she had what it takes, she'd already be there. And that's what's not being told.
Woo! Now, Kevin always had the gift of bringing things out to the open that some of us wouldn't have thought about. And he says it very clearly. If she was really that chick, she would already be on, but she's not. And you're upset that you're not on. And then even now, as you've seen in the past with some of her interviews, she's talking about how she regrets being, a wife, a mother. She had other things that she wanted to do. And well,
it's healthy. It's healthy to, in front of a bunch of strangers in a public setting, to talk about how your husband just kind of doesn't get it and how it's much harder for you to not have been able to pursue your dreams that were literally only that, dreams. Like there was nothing in your...
They're literally only dreams, but some women really believe I get to achieve whatever I want to achieve. I seen a clip the other day that said Americans are the only people that teach their kids they can be whatever they want to be. Around the world, they let them kids know, look, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses. Don't you dare try to become something that you're weak at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these women, they're weak at being these on TV personalities that they think they are. They think they're so interesting. You're not interesting. You're just like every other girl. You have all the same feminist talking points. Even more, she says stuff like, I get zero male attention. I didn't know this is something that wives wanted. They want attention from other men. What in the world is this? And it's the fact that Kevin Samuels said that she's jealous of him. I agree with that. She's definitely jealous of him. Why are you worried about him getting all the attention and you're not? He's the star. You're not. You know what I'm saying? It's so obvious to me. So when O'Shea Jackson was saying that she was the pick-me wife, I was like, when? When was she the pick-me wife? I know she wanted a cooking show, but does she really cook? Does she really cook? I'd love to see it.
Reality that looked like you were about to be in the trajectory of becoming a C-suite executive.
Woo! Yeah, again, this is the problem with Ayesha Curry. She's acting as if she was going to be like this big time celebrity if she had not met Steph Curry. That's the issue. But hindsight is 2020, so it's easy to say that you would have done X, Y, and Z simply because you are rich. But really, if I wouldn't have went to Grant High School, I would have became the #1 point guard in the city of Sacramento.
Stop the cap.
But again, these things with Ayesha Curry kept coming about, and almost, it seems like almost every few months she goes on to some podcasts and she's really disrespecting Steph Curry. And to Steph Curry's point, he's nothing like Ayesha Curry. He's very respectful. He never talks about her in a, devastating way or in a pejorative way, despite the fact that she does this. And this is what has caused so many women to question her.
But at this point, you're embarrassing him because it's like every interview you want to let it be known you're not happy. Then let somebody else marry him. Let somebody else live the lavish lifestyle. Let somebody else make him happy. What you thought was gonna happen marrying a basketball player? You thought he was gonna be home every single day? No, bro. That's what comes with the game. I would be meal prepping for that man, doing everything he got to do. You on interviews talking about how, in other words, you're miserable. You act like you want to go cheat.
Now, this lady is interesting because she's saying something that a lot of ladies think. Why don't you just leave the guy, let somebody else marry him, and take care of him? I mean, that's just what you should do, because every time you're talking about this guy, you are insinuating the worst. And it also seems like you're a lady who wants to cheat. Now, again, guys, people have been speculating this for a long time on the internet. Like Ayesha Curry is, showing her body off. She's losing all this weight. She's hanging out by herself in Toronto. Like, clearly this lady feels that she's lost out. So she wants to experience certain things. And I believe that because she has a husband like Steph Curry, let's say, for example, that she was to cheat, she's probably betting on the fact that, okay, well, he's not going to leave me if I do cheat. It doesn't matter. Woo! But again, the signs are there. If a woman is talking about this sort of stuff kind of out in the open, and especially if you are a high value man, you are a man that makes a lot of money. And again, Kevin Samuels was saying the same thing deeper into that video. She doesn't respect the position that Steph Curry has. While we are so enamored by the fact that he's the greatest shooter of this generation, he's an excellent basketball player, she doesn't look at him in the same vein, and that's the issue. But he looks at her as if she's the best thing since white rice. And so now these rumors have continued to, kind of fester about, both of them, her willingness to stay in the marriage, speculating when the marriage is going to end because most people think it will end soon. And all of
It might not end soon. I don't know. Right. And I do feel like Ayesha Curry would be the type to probably cheat. I really do. I think so. And that girl made some really good points. She said she's letting everyone know every single interview that she's not happy. Why don't you just let someone else live the lavish lifestyle? There's so many women that will line up to meal prep, cook, have babies, take care of the home for NBA player because they know that these guys can provide a lifestyle where you travel, you have all the stuff that you want. A lot of these women, they want stuff. They have this consumer spending problem where they need to buy stuff to be happy. For them, happiness is consumption. Consume. Keep the latest bag, the latest makeup. For women, happiness for them is at a financial expense. Buying stuff, collecting stuff. They're hoarders, right? They like to hoard it. But I do feel like, Steph should divorce her. Because, bro, there's no point in becoming such a man of value to only have a woman that even the average guy wouldn't accept. The average guy wouldn't accept Ayesha Curry walk around telling everybody that she wished she had more male attention. That is not a wife. That is 304 language. That is a thought talking. And she's not even all that. And the funny part of it is a lot of women say, oh, in order for a relationship to work, I need a man to want me more than I want him. Well, here's another example, not even the only example, another example of a man wanting to be in a relationship more than a woman, and she's still miserable. Guys, I tell you this all the time. The fastest way to make a woman miserable, unhappy, unruly is to give her everything she wants. Everything. Right? She has a lifestyle. She has a husband that celebrates her, and she still wants other male attention. Please, make it make sense. How is this acceptable? And y'all say we live in a patriarchy. To me, this is clear signs of a matriarchy where we put female emotions above everything. How women feel it has a priority above everything. It doesn't matter that this dude has to suffer with the fact that his wife talks horribly about him and horribly about their lifestyle, and looks like she wants someone to bail her out, that doesn't matter. What matters is, well, she could have had a dream career. And, Steph may have derailed her dream career. Says who? So many girls believe they could become someone that they can't become. And Kevin Samuels is right. If she could have become that, she would have become that. Because now you're in the spotlight. Now you have all the reasons. If you have the personality, the charisma to become this great superstar, what's holding you back? I don't get it. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
But nobody ever had any confirmation of infidelity happening until...
Who is the biggest name girl you've ever fucked?
If I lie, do I get sued for defamation?
Who's the most famous girl you ever fucked?
Yes,
Ayesha Curry.
Wow.
So Tekashi 6ix9ine goes to Neo's stream and Neo asks him, who is the biggest star that you've ever clapped cheeks with? And he says, well, am I gonna get sued? And he then goes out to say it's Ayesha Curry. Now, I don't know if this is true, and it may not be true, but here is what I know, and this is for sure, that Tekashi 6ix9ine, on almost every female that he has dealt with, has some level of receipts that he can prove to say that he did this. And he typically shows somebody like DJ Academics. He typically shows, people in the industry, or he could be trolling. But let's say that he's not trolling and this rumor gets out there, people believe it. Well, then why would they believe this sort of rumor? They would believe this sort of rumor because simply of how she behaves. It's believable. And so this is what I kind of want to tell to women out there, that you are in a relationship with a guy and you can be faithful to the guy. But if you're the person that has an attitude like Ayesha Curry has, and it's bad and it's terrible, and you're humiliating your man in the public, it is so easy for somebody to go out and say, you know what? You as a lady are exhibiting all these qualities. So yes, it's true. You are doing this to Steph. Now you can come out and get in front of it and say it's not true, but people would like to believe this because typically Tekashi 6ix9ine, from what I know, doesn't really lie on himself, but you've put it out there by how you acted. And so now everybody can go and say, oh, she's cheating on her husband, and he can get mad about it and yo, my wife isn't cheating on me. Stop the show, although he wouldn't know. Woo! But if you didn't want people to even believe that, then why do you act the way you do? All that you had to do was act like a lady and be respectful to your husband and to not drag or dog him. And then if somebody were to say this, you slept with a Steph Curry's wife, hey, we would easily be able to shoot that down. What? No, there's no way that she did that he's lying.
I don't know if he's lying or not. And honestly, I really don't even care. I don't know if they're going to give it any attention and to try to disprove him or come out and make a statement about it. He did start up. Okay, so when 6ix9ine made the comment, he said, can I lie? Or would I be sued for defamation if I lied? To me, when you set that up like that, you're pretty much guaranteeing what you're going to say is a lie. Because the number one defense against defamation is telling the truth. So you can't be sued for defamation if you're telling the truth. And so, the chances are that if she slept with 6ix9ine, based on how he presented the information, to me, it sounds like he might be fabricating a story, which O'Shea is right. I don't know if 6ix9ine just making up stories, but you never know. Maybe he does make up stories. Who doesn't know? We don't know. But there's a couple things I want to point out here. One, think of, I don't know, and I thought this might be a little bit off what we're talking about, but just for a second, I want to say this. Neon, right? The streamer Neon asked him, what's the most famous girl you slept with? And the reason why I thought that was so interesting, because think about it this, right? Neon, for what we can see, he's a pretty famous person in the streaming world. He streams with other female celebrities that are popular. He's streaming with Iggy Azalea, and Iggy Azalea was telling everybody how she wanted a man to make this and make that, and everyone's like, fuck what you talking about, girl? Like, if a man had all this stuff that you require, he would date a younger woman without children. I wish women understand that. Anyway, but he was around other delusional women that were famous. Ruby Rose. And he asked that question because he probably hasn't slept with any really famous women. And I think he might still be a virgin. And a lot of these dudes, Aiden Ross, a lot of these people who you see that are famous, they might be famous. They might be in these rooms. They might be making money. But a lot of them struggle to get with just girls at their same status or even who they have more status than because they lack the personality. See, when there's an even playing field between men and women, like you're famous and she's famous, the fame goes out the window. Now the fame doesn't even matter as much, right? What matters is, can you have the charisma? Can you charm her, right? Can you engage with her in such a way where her box gets wet? Because if you can't make her box wet, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I thought that was pretty funny. You know, I thought that was really interesting. And I always wondered to myself, how are you dudes so famous, but y'all still struggle to get with famous girls? It's not a flex. Fame only matters as a flex if you're not famous hooking up with a famous girl. That's a flex. But to be famous, hooking up with famous girls, that's like the rite of passage in my personal opinion. Anyway, but 6ix9ine, he's probably someone that could sleep with famous girls. I think he has, right? Because he probably has the charisma, even though he has face tattoos and wild color hair and he's not in the best shape. It just shows you that if you are quote unquote exciting to be around, it's possible. Now, did he possibly sleep with Ayesha Curry? I don't know. Do I think it's far-fetched that Ayesha Curry cheated? No. She sounds like a woman that would cheat. If your girl gets online saying, how come I don't get any more male attention? She's pretty much telling you what she wants, more male attention. Ayesha Curry is ready to melt in the hands of a man that thinks she's a superstar. That's not her husband. She's not going to melt in the hands of her husband. Some random dude, you know what I'm saying, at Whole Foods, at the gas station. And this is why girls like her are so dangerous, because they're so needy. Bro, I don't like fucking with needy women for this reason. It's because no matter what you do, it's not enough. They want more. And they're never content. They're never happy. This is what people say, like happiness, like money can't buy happiness. Because if you're needy, you're always going to feel like you're in lack. Right? Says, nigga, you guys have 3 kids. You don't feel like you spend enough time with him? What? I know he's on a road and shit like that. But again, like, to me, she's trying to compete with the man that she's in a relationship with. But lady, he is a superstar. He's one of the best athletes of our time. You're nowhere near that. Give it up. It's so dangerous for a woman to want to be your competitor rather than your support system. You need to submit to your man. Stop trying to control him. Stop trying to succeed him. You are a success because he's a success. And if only women had the self-awareness to see that, they'll be able to appreciate their life a lot more. But when you have this brain rot contamination of feminism constantly circling through the blood vessels in your tiny little fucking brain, this is the shit that you come up with. This is the stuff that you come up with. So I don't know if he cheated or not, but you know, I guess I wouldn't put it past her goofy ass.
I'll tell you this, he wouldn't even try it either, because people just wouldn't believe him, and he know it wouldn't be true. And let's say, for example, it was true, he'd had to show undeniable evidence. Now, in this case, we're most likely not going to get undeniable evidence, and he could get sued if it's false. But the reality is that she's been acting like this the whole entire time. And so people are going to have a right to go and run with this particular story, although I can't verify the validity of it. Now, if it is true, this is where it's going to be crazy. You see, people tend to like opposites of what they already have. Let's look at Ayesha Curry, for example. If this were true, fundamentally, it would prove something. That she wants the provider guy, who is Steph Curry. He's safe. He's an NBA All-Star. He's a man that's a Christian, all of this stuff. A man that checks all the boxes, pays the bills, but a man that you may not find exciting, a man that you feel is holding you back. He's giving you a good soft life, but obviously there's something that you could do in the streets. So you're missing that part of the streets. Okay. Now, if that woman goes out and gets a dude that's completely different from the man that you are, if she's having a sex relationship with him, then it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense why she would mess with a guy like Tekashi 6ix9ine, because Tekashi 6ix9ine is all about vibes. He's completely different than Steph. He probably is exciting to her, and yes, that's what she needed to, get her what wet and all of that stuff.
Got him!
And ultimately,
bro, I'm gonna say it like this, yo. When it comes to women, power is psychological. It's not physical. It's not even tangible. It's psychological. And this is where a lot of men fail at women. They don't understand that in order to master this whole women thing, you need to believe that you're better than her. Steph doesn't believe he's better than her. He put her on a pedestal. I think she was the girl that he wanted from high school and she didn't want him. It was like a relationship like that. So he pedestalized this bum-ass chick. And now he has the results. A girl who thinks she's too good for him. But she's wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Power is not physical. It's not tangible. It's not reality. It's psychological. It's abstract. There's no way for her to justifiably, rationally prove she's better than Steph. But she believes she is because how he makes her feel. As long as you make a woman feel like you're better than her, I'm telling, bro, I've done this before. I've had girls where I would never give them a compliment and they felt like they were below me. And then one fucking day, I slip up and say some shit that alludes to the fact that I find them attractive, and the whole dynamic switches, y'all. I lost all my power. I'm telling you, these are girls who I was cool with, who, I wasn't fucking them, but, there were girls like in the background who I could have been, there's some potential for it to happen later on. And then when that later on came around, I fucked up and made it seem like they had some value over me. And the whole dynamic switched, bro. A lot of women will feel a lot better if they look up to you and they feel like you're better than them. And the way you achieve that is psychologically. You have to let them feel like you're the kind of dude who would not give a fuck about them. And I know it's backwards, but this is exactly how female psychology works. And Steph Curry does a horrible job at this because every turn, he's always elevating his wife, exalting his wife. So he's the kind of guy that would get cheated on, whether she actually cheated or not. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. I'm in Miami for one more effing day. We're going to make some great content. Shout out to Yende. Shout out to Eddie Gotcha. Bro, I got some crazy content coming. You guys are going to see it. But until next time, check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.